Welcome back to the arena. I am joined again by Jintan. Yin, why don't you tell us about what Rote Kapelle have brought, because they have two special ships on their side.
Yes, they do. They have two amazing Malices. For those of you who don't know, those are a Alliance tournament ship. I don't remember exactly which Alliance tournament they were given out, but they effectively are both a Sentinel and a Retribution. So those things have newts and DPS. They're going to be incredibly scary to watch and are some of the best screening ships in the game. We just talked about how important that is. Watch what those Malices do, watch what they tackle down, watch what they newt. That's going to be very important to seeing how this match progresses. Here we are, game started.
Yeah, and V0lta aboard two battleship core with the Vindicator and the Hyperion. And they also have like a bit of an E-War wing with the two Kisunis and the Rook, and two Maulers for heavy screening.
Yeah, here we see all of those jams go out. The primary focus of them is just on the opponent's jamming ships, trying to get the advantage in that war. Right now, it looks as though most of those jams haven't landed because we can still see DPS coming out right onto the Rook of Starfleet Commander. That's going to be very, very important. You want to keep your Rooks away from damage, obviously, and whilst most of that is through the ECM, a lot of it's also going to be through positioning. Check to see if those Malices make a run for him, because if they do, that's going to be a huge problem that V0lta are going to have to deal with.
Although a Confessor of Vorian has been webbed and grappled down by that Vindicator, so I expect in about a second's time, when the Vindy gets traversal on him, he's probably going to be deleted instantly.
Yep, it looks like both of the battleships came in. It looks like he was the person to run in and just get that first little bit of tackle, that first scram that stopped the Vindicator from moving forwards and allowed those Lashaks to get on top of him. But he is actually tanking surprisingly well. Look at that, bouncing up and down from half to full armor with every Vindicator shot. Those 90% webs just aren't quite enough to hold him down.
Yeah, maybe there's some ECM happening here with the three Blackbirds on the field. It's possible that maybe the Vindicator got jammed off him. Yeah, and seeing the Vindicator web got jammed off him, but he is still grappled by the Hyperion, so he's still moving really slow. But it looks like a single Hyperion can probably keep him up here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what these Malas are doing right now. One of them, Crazy Vanya, he's being tackled by one of these Malices, or at least getting some E-War pressure off of him, but he's then being re-tackled. I think that's just going to be a kind of a background war, as you see there. Once again, the Confessor bouncing up and down, the Vindicator bouncing up and down, as well as these Lashaks try and spool, but those Kitsunes are going to do an amazing job of stopping that. The Confessor going here into Hull, finally. Is this going to be it?
Oh, he tanked back up
Not
again.
quite. Damn. This is some amazing piloting. You can actually zoom in here and just watch him moving back and forth in a line, trying to keep that perfect transversal with every single shot that comes out of that Vindicator. He is manually tracking the shots of his opponents and weaving in and out of them. That is some incredible micro skill there from Vorian.
Well, actually, it looks like what happened is the Hyperion and Vindicator got jammed by those Blackbirds, and now he's actually MWDing away. It looks like he just got tackled again. So they actually just got tackled on the Guardian of Rory Hoshino, actually.
Oh, that is a huge blow. That is, yeah, if they can get the DPS on top of that Guardian, you can see both of these sides have enough ECM to mitigate enough damage that their logistics can hold. Killing the opponent's logistics is going to be the win condition for both sides here.
Yeah, and it looks like what those Maulers were kind of doing in the back line is they're just kind of chilling around the Aneros of the V0lta team, just ready to scram those Malices. What they want to do is make sure those Malices do not get onto that Aneros, and it looks like they've been doing a good job so far. As this Guardian hits half armor, sorry.
This is really worrying. Yeah, all the tank that this thing has is in its mitigation and maybe even a few rep drones, but that doesn't look like it's going to be enough as that Guardian goes into half hull here. Is it down? No, it's broken tackle. It's broken tackle. Somehow the webs have been dropped. I think the Blackbirds must have gotten a jam off, and that's enough for this Guardian to actually get out alive. You can see there the webs completely falling off of it. The rep drone's still giving it back. It's out of 20% HP. It is living to win. That is a huge break there from Rory. Entirely RNG as both sides throw ECM on one another. You can see there that the Blackbird of Keithstone wasn't jammed. He was probably the one who was able to actually land that critical jam. And that's enough to keep the red team in this. Wow.
V0lta just lost the
Oh,
Kitsune.
one of the Kitsunes just went down. How did that happen? The Guardian's tackled again. He's in 10% armor now.
And he does have that Vindicator web on him, it seems, so he's going to drop, and he's gone.
He's gone. That is... Well, okay, now this is a power play. The Rote Kapelle side needs to get something done here. They need to get some kills out of this before V0lta are able to respond.
Yeah, one thing that has happened, though, is Rote and Osgold's Malice has ended up on top of Planet 6, which is Rylode's Aneros. So now that Aneros is probably going to struggle.
There we go. There's a tackle on the Aneros. The Malice is finally there. The Malices have finally broken through this Mala backline, just like you were saying. There's webs now on the Leshak. The Leshak's in half armor. He's probably going to be full resist fit, so this is going to be a fast match from a very, very slow introduction. The Leshak's already in 20% armor. The Vindicator's in half armor. The Rook is in half armor. The Aneros is tackled. Who is going to go down first? If that Vindicator goes down first, it is probably a huge swing in the favor of Rote Kapelle here, but it looks like it's going to be close. Leonia is in nearly hull here, but clawing it back ever so slightly with those rep drones.
Yeah, those Blackbirds are going to become a much bigger threat as the match goes on. And Starfleet Commander's Rook is also dropping very, very low here with those Confessors in the back line shooting him.
Oh my god, you can see there the Leshak has an active tank, the Vindicator doesn't, so this is going to be so close. They're both hitting hull right now.
Yeah, that Leshak is pretty well spooled on him, and Planet 6's Aneros is going to be having difficulty here. Oh, and the Leshak goes down first, though. Oh, the
Leshak goes down first, but the Rook's in half armor. The Kitsune V0lta is also caught. That is huge. That's going to take out some more ECM. That's going to allow these Blackbirds to concentrate down. The less targets that are on the field, the more impact this ECM is going to have, because there are less ships that you need to spread it around the chances on. We're starting to see here.
Another thing that happened too is Planet 6's Aneros actually just escaped from those Malices because the Maulers came in, and it looks like ECM drones actually dropped the scram on them. The Aneros was able to burn away, and now the Maulers have picked them back up again.
Yeah, it looks like the Rook of Starfleet Commander's also been able to use his ECM and shake off the Malice that was on top of him, and he's starting to regen some armor now here. The Blackbird of Data Dean has been caught, and he is gone almost instantly, absolutely deleted.
It's not looking good for Rote Kapelle now.
No, it is not. With both of those battleships left alive, the Vindicator's HP almost back to where it was. The Rook as well. They're going to need a miracle here when it comes from these ECMs. They're going to need some really, really lucky jams to land, and one of those Malices to be able to slip in and do some damage in terms of tackling and getting that final Leshak in position. Look at that tiny, tiny damage bar from Rote Kapelle. They need to conserve and use that as wisely as possible, even though V0lta aren't shooting them back.
Yeah, and one thing that Rote Kapelle have working against them too is the timer. With only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the match, they need to get 37 more points. Even if they kill the Rook and the Vindicator, they're going to be like right on the edge.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to kill the Hyperion at all, even with the amount of DPS that they have left on the field. We all know how tanky those things are from experience on Tranquility and in previous tournaments. There you can go. It looks like they're going for the death blow here, going for the Leshak. If the Leshak goes down, there is no hope of Rote Kapelle winning it, because they won't have the DPS to break through anything with that Aneros tank.
One of these Maulers is getting pretty low. If Rote Kapelle kill that, maybe it frees up one of those Malices to harass the Aneros. But
yeah, you can see that's the one that's been dueling Rotan for basically this entire match, just sitting in the back lines shooting each other with lasers.
One of those Malices did get free. He's on top of Planet 6's Aneros again, so we're going to see the Aneros getting capped out. His reps are going to be intermittent as he cycles through his cap boosters. But
or not, because he just got jammed. Once again, these jams are just coming in clutch for V0lta, just perfectly, right when they need to. The Leshak now in 20%, but we're going to see him hold just for a little bit longer with the active rep. I think they have an ancillary armor repper fit to both of these Leshaks. And the Vindicator is actually taking a lot of damage again. There he is in 30% armor, but I think that's probably just baiting here from Planet 6, unless those newts are really taking more effect than we thought.
Yeah, the Malice is on top of him and has a scram on him. A Mauler has came out to scram that Malice, and I believe it is a dual prop Aneros. You can see he's going like 500 ms, so he does have an afterburner. So while the Malice is scrammed by the Mauler, he probably can escape here, but he is going to be under cap pressure while it's on him, and he probably only has to Dagger's Web. But the Shack of May Raven is about to go down here.
I thought he was maybe gonna. No, there we go. There it is. One final rep fires off, but it's not enough to keep them in it. This is probably game. We see the GGs starting to appear in local, but we've got to play this one out. What an intense match there, though. Back and forth, especially on the control of the ECM side. Both sides had chances to win it there, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Vindicator and the Hyperion were just kind of free to rampage as much as they were, but I guess Rote Kapelle don't really have any screening ships on their side. That's kind of the downside of this double Malice, triple Blackbird comp, right? Is you only really have the Ponti, maybe the Confessor that can pick stuff up, and the Vindicator can shred them.
Yeah, the Malices were going in like this offensive tackle role, basically trying to go for the key part of their opponent's comp, and they just weren't able to do it past those Mallas. That's some incredible piloting, though. You've got to give credit to Crazy and TikTok for being able to pull that off. Think about how much faster the Malice is than a Mala. Being able to catch it in a 10 km range, that is some unbelievable piloting and prediction from them. But with that, that is time on the game. And that leaves us with V0lta with a victory. So, back to the studio.